Hi everyone, it's day 22 of my live 77-day video challenge, and today I am going to talk about 80s fashion and music, what I went through when I was going to high school. So this is my high school series. I covered a little bit the last 2 days. I think I've been talking about the 80s and my experience in high school. That this was the 2.5 years that I spent at Ellison High in Killeen, Texas. So as you can imagine, the 80s was a really interesting time when it came to fashion. We had the neon colored t-shirts, we had band t-shirts were really in style, leg warmers were in style as well, with people wearing headbands and sweatbands, and remember sunglasses at night. When that song came out from Corey Hart, people tended to wear sunglasses at night. Another thing that was interesting was jeans. Jordache jeans, Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. And someone reminded me in the chat a few days ago how the tighter the better. And I happened to find a photo of me. Here I am here. But here I have, I've got one of those tight jeans on, just showing off and I remember I couldn't breathe. But remember, the tighter the better. Jordache and Gloria Vanderbilt, they were really big brands of jeans. Also, how about the big hair? Did you know that in the 80s, Aquanet hairspray had the biggest sales of any other decade? So I just want to show you, here's a group of me and my girlfriends. This is in the 80s, probably about 82. But look at our big hair. A little bit crazy there, isn't it? It's my friend Alicia, Kelly, Cindy, and Lee. And yeah, this was in the early 80s. I just to show you a little bit more of the hair. This is a bit. Here's me and Cindy. See how crazy it was? And we definitely used a lot of hairspray then. But this was a crazy time. I've got another picture here of a really good male friend of mine, Bruton, and he's got really wild hair. My friend Joey, a little bit more subdued, but we had the big hair. Another thing that was quite common, there were lots of latchkey kids. A lot of us, we didn't really, our parents, my dad worked, and we were left to our own devices. One thing that we absolutely loved to do, and we loved to just stay at home, maybe have a little bit of alcohol, and we like to just dance. Look at this photo of me and my friend Kelly. We were just dancing away, and these are my other friends as well, just dancing in the living room. That's all we did. We loved to just dance. It was an interesting time. Another interesting time is MTV came out. It debuted on the 1st of August, 1981, with, of course, that iconic broadcast of "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles. And boy, did it do that, didn't it? So then it was all about, watching the latest video personalities, checking out how people looked, and mainly how they looked. Singing really didn't matter, did it, when MTV came out? But then it was that visual appeal was really, really important, and gave rise to acts like Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Prince. Of course, Michael Jackson's dominance of Thriller, which came out in 1982. All of us were just dancing to all of the songs from that iconic album. And there was also the rock evolutions. I like to listen to rock and roll, like, the big bands like REO Speedwagon, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, which was a bit of an anthem back then and is an anthem right now. It is a huge, huge song that still is in the mainstream right now. Def Leppard, I loved Def Leppard. Pyromania, when that came out, I loved Rock of Ages. I loved that song. Of course, Joan Jett, I love rock and roll. And Pat Benatar was huge. Love is a Battlefield. And then, of course, we had those other sort of, what would you call, like the synthesized, like Depeche Mode was coming out. Whip It from Devo was a huge song. And then just Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves. I love that song. And also with those iconic movies I was talking to you about, Valley Girl, Breakfast Club, Sweet 16. They had songs that came from those soundtracks. I Melt With You, Modern English, and other songs were really quite popular as well. Take On Me. Actually, that was after I graduated from high school, but that was a huge 80s hit. And of course, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. I loved it. From Tony Basil. That came out in 81. And that was kind of a song that me and my friends liked to listen to. And we just loved to hang out. And here's a picture here. Oh, hey, Amanda. Amanda also lived in Killeen with me during this time. And here's a photo. There's my brother up there and some of the girls that I hang out with. Karen and Suzanne Lee. We've got Alicia, Kelly, and Cindy. And we're standing out there in front of my house. I used to drive this really crazy orange Mercedes, which was, oh my God, there it is right there. As I shared previously, my father was a mechanic, so he got this car, I think for like $500, and was able to do it up. And I've had some crazy memories in that car. That was another thing in the 80s. No seatbelts. We used to pile that car up and get up to some crazy antics driving to Fort Hood, or it was Fort Hood then, Fort Cavazos now. And what crazy times we had just driving on Fort Hood and getting into sort of a little bit of trouble. I'm sure Amanda, who's watching, can relate. So anyways, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And for those of you who would like to share a memory in high school, those high school crazy years that you experienced, what were the trends that you went through? What were the sort of fashions? Look at the hair. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. And as I shared earlier, Aquanet hairspray had the biggest sales in the 80s. Of course, our hair was out of control with the hairspray, and of course with the perms as well. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, just reminiscing about music and the crazy things we wore. Thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Amanda.